Great sunrise. Today, we're going to look at power and we're going to discuss power because right between these hours, we're seeing a unique display of power, of energy that in my mind, I can see that it's going to greatly disrupt the scheme of things. And not only that, the way life in the world is now will dramatically be changed. What I mean by that is things are going to be arranged upon the game board, things are going to be rearranged. This is chaos, and chaos is change. So, let's look at two definitions of power. The first definition of power is the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or a quality. The ability to do something or act in a particular way. This is the way, this is what I see we need as Black people, as Nubian people, as Bantu people, as whatever we want to call ourselves, but definitely indigenous people of the planet. I feel we need the ability to do something or act within a particular way because we have a lot of what they call it bad behaviors within this battle that we endure. We have a lot of things that need to be worked on because we shouldn't be acting against our own cause because we lack self-preservation. We lack self-love, self-acceptance, and we lack self-knowledge of all things. But all those things, if we as a people all over this planet had, then we would be able to act in a conducive way, act in that particular way that would benefit us and give us that ability to have that power, especially using it as a faculty or a quality. Number two is the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. Now, all of these things, when you think of power, it is first spiritual. And then until you enact it, it becomes a physical thing. And this is what I see. Our words are unseen, but until we put our words to work, we we put it forward, then it becomes a physical, tangible thing. Number two definition is the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. Now, it's not saying in the second definition that you are being influenced. And you're the powerful one. No, you can't be powerful and be the one being influenced. You have to be on top of the game. You have to be on top of your game. The same with the first definition. You shouldn't be, you should put yourself in check. According to the first definition, in order for you to have this power, the ability to do something or act, you must be able to put yourself in check. So you can perform in a particular way that benefits you, that puts your faculty, your qualities to work to benefit you. You are the directing. You are influencing. You're not allowing anything that's not conducive to your nature to influence you. You're not weak. You're not weak. You are powerful. I love these two definitions. The course, okay, to influence the behavior of others or the course of events. That's why I said power is always at work. But power that is working in the earth can be manipulated. When your emotions are being controlled and personalities are involved. So what has to happen is if people really, really want to see a change for the better, you cannot allow emotions, and you can't allow your emotions to be controlled, and you cannot allow personalities. When you're a spiritual person, you don't see things as personality, or you don't see things as the world wants you to see things, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like they say, this character is a bad character, and this character is the good character. Well, you don't care. All you want to know is the meaning behind all of this, the spiritual work that has been done in between the whole ordeal. We want to see that's the most important part, because then what I'm about to talk about next will not become a problem, which is opportunities, open opportunities for a people to come out from something, come out from the illusionary world that's been built. Because it is actually like that UFO, that unidentified flying object. You can't see it for a while, right? But then it's been revealed right in front of you. Now you can see it. Now you know what it's all about. Now you see the whole ship. You don't just, you see the solid ship. You see it solid, it's sitting up in the sky above you. It's there. It's there. And in seeing this, you know that what you thought all this time and only imagined is truly real. You can see that it's truly real. And you can move on that. You can make decisions from there. You can make decisions because that thing is no longer a trick. That thing is no longer imaginary. It's real. You can actually see it. It's not what I'm saying or telling you. It's not what others said or told you. You seeing it for yourself. You seeing it for yourself. And now you can take your opportunity to do what you have to do. You have opportunity because you know that that's a real power. That's a real energy force that's up there above you vibrating. It's no longer hearsay. It's no longer, you know, emotions and personalities or people or, you know, it's no longer any of that. Well, that's the same situation here. For me, I see NATO and I see America and Europe wanting all of to cover the whole world as that spaceship. I can see it. It's a solid thing. It's real. And I see why they do what they do. I see why they're in Mali. I see why French forces are in Africa. I see why French forces, you know, are in here in America. I see why we have this relationship with all these forces. All these different European countries are all through Africa. I see. I see the whole solid. It's become real above me. It's no longer an illusion or a notion or a, you know, a far distant thought. It's here. And it's been revealed. It's been revealed. And I'm telling you, this Ukraine and this Russian war is going to change the whole scheme of everything. It's going to rearrange things around. It's going to rearrange things around. And that's what we should want. We want things to be changed. We want chaos to come because chaos came to us as a people. Chaos changed the scheme of things with us in the world. And I talk about this all the time. We fell asleep. There was a time, you know, when we lost everything and we were enslaved as a people. Africa was colonized finally. That was late because, you know, the Europeans had trouble, but it was late colonization, but they colonized them. But we were enslaved here in America because America is a little bit easier and it's not that big. It's not big to maneuver around and in. Um, Africa's a little different. So it wasn't until the 17, 1800s before the Europeans were able to do that in Africa. So I'm saying the conditions that we are in as a people around the world can very much have us not save ourselves like we need to save ourselves. But then I also see hope, because seeing that it's on an individual basis, whether you want to be aware of the world around you or you want to be continue to be lied to. That's an individual decision. That's an individual decision. And no one can force you or make you see. Um, but that's where I say most will not save themselves. Most will not save themselves. Hold on. Most will not save themselves because because a lot of times it's ego and pride that stops you. And it's not even, it's ego that's made by this world through individual experiences that will get you stuck. Individual experiences. And what I mean by that, it can also be your thinking process and what you have learned or you've been taught that is influenced. So your power, you pretty much, they have given up some of their power. What I'm saying, some people have given up their power and have allowed people to exert power over them so long that it builds this ego and this pride in that. An ego and pride. That's why people want to argue against you telling them otherwise of what they have learned in this, from this world and from the people who hate them the most. They will fight you tooth and nail that that is wrong. Don't tell someone that Jesus is not white. Don't tell a black brother or sister that Jesus is not white. You're going to see an ego come out. This is the example. You're going to see an ego come out and a pride that their Jesus is white, and an ego that you are not going to tell me who my Jesus is when I've already been taught by my family that the emotion, no connection in that is deep. So you cannot, that cannot be saved. They're not going to see the true way of being, and that's not going to, they're not going to be able to get there, and they're not going to be able to um, move things. They're not empowered whatsoever. They're not empowered. They're being influenced, and they're not the influencer. speaking of influence, it's, you see, the powers to be in America have influence over majority of the people, including people that look like me. People that look like me, Black people, Nubian people, whatever you want to call us, are deeply influenced by the power of America, are deeply influenced by the power of America. So there's no, that's why I say it's individual. If it comes to you, it comes to you. If you wake up and you realize and you're aware suddenly of all these things, and you correlate that to your life experience, and you realize your truth, then that's when you're on the path to change with the chaos that's happening. You're more likely to be able to save yourself. You're more likely going to save yourself. I don't care who. You cannot, your mom, your husband, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousins, your aunts, your favorite aunt, your favorite uncle, you're not going to be able to change that individual from where they're stuck at. You We can only save us at this point. The thought process that they're stuck in is going to not be able to, then it's not going to work for them to save themselves. So, and what I mean by that is certain things are going to have to happen. Like I was saying, the scheme of things are going to change. The world is going to be rearranged. That's what I want to say. Things are not going to be the way it is now. It was never meant to be stuck in time where we are controlled by money. It was never meant to be like that. So that's for a short time. And that short time is almost up. And the way I see this war, I see what this man is doing, Mr. Putin, is he is spiritually moved. He is spiritually moved. I've heard things in the world of in a different I see Putin in a different light. I just don't see him as war. I see him as dealing with Anunnakis. I see him with dealing with our star family. I see him as dealing with unseen things and spiritual things. I see him dealing with those things. So, in seeing him dealing with those things and seeing him, his political stance, and seeing that what I've learned about communism and what I've learned in my experience, period, of traveling around the world and talking with people, and people breaking down with, to me, good people telling me, teaching me about communism because of my stereotype about it and how benefit it could be, gave me a different understanding. Even though I'm against all isms and I'm against all religions and I'm against, um, you know, the way things are, period, on this planet, because I see an imbalance, a constant imbalance. So I see things working in a way that would benefit the righteous, that would really benefit the righteous. So I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as a good thing. But in our country, what they want to do is peace for them is not give allowing peace for others, for people that look like you and me. So that's their peace. When peace is supposed to be not an imbalance, not for me to have all the peace and take from you and give you chaos, but it's supposed to be a balance. So now this chaos has come, and this is a pretty big chaos that is happening. And it has to be this big because it's about to shake and rearrange some things on this planet for the good. I don't care if a nuclear bomb has to go off to make that happen. We have to recognize that there is deep, serious imbalances in this planet that are happening. And it goes against nature, it goes against the principles, and it goes against the cosmos. It goes against everything. And we have to take, we have to do our part. And our part should always be self preservation. We must stop behaving in the way we've been behaving. We have to act in a particular way in accordance with our conditions. Hey, DOD. We shouldn't be out here interracial dating, interracial marrying. I forgot what McCullough called that behavior. Improper behavior. These are improper behaviors for people who have suffered as much as we have suffered. We shouldn't be taking part in those things at this time. We shouldn't be taking part in fighting in their wars. Fighting in their wars. It is horrible behavior. It is horrible behavior for us to be doing that. It's horrible behavior that we're not. You see, this one thing it's going to force us to do when it comes on this land, when the war pours into America, everybody who wants to say that they love this land and they're stuck on this land, it's not good. It's not good and healthy to want to be attached to land, because what if, it's going to take this force that's coming, this power to come to move us off. Eventually you're going to get moved off. Eventually it could be a storm, it could be anything, but right now it's this war. And we're going to probably have to we're probably going to have to move away because, like I said, it's going to rearrange the planet. It's going to rearrange the planet. And it's going to rearrange everything. Everything is going to change. Everything is going to change. So, and this is just, chaos, and it's chaos at work. It's part of the spiritual manifestation. And that's how it starts. A war starts spiritually first, and then it becomes a physical. And a lot of people think that this does not have anything to do with our people, but everything has to do with everything. It's all attached. It's really all attached. It's all connected. Nazis, you know, like I said, these are ideas. These are African African knowledge. We were the first Aryans. We had the Nazi signs. You had the Nazi signs back in Africa, Northern Africa. And Hitler and other well learned people took a lot of these things from Africa, a lot of things. And what I learned today about Muammar Gaddafi, was that how he played his hand in getting us to think that he was for us, but all along he was a puppet put in by the Western world. And, you know, I knew about him being a puppet at one time, but then it's a whole lot of other things I didn't know in between, like how he admired this Frenchman, uh, who was Arab, and this Frenchman thought about our people was he literally said that we were put here to be slaves. So basically, he admired this man. Muammar Gaddafi admired that man. But Muammar Gaddafi was an imperialist also. But let me show you what he wanted to do. Muammar, you got power, right? So Muammar Gaddafi wanted to knock the power out of the white man's hand and put it back in the Arabs' hand. He wanted us to come back and be enslaved under the Arabs again. That's what he was enticing our people, tricking our people, misleading our people to, back into slavery under the Arab regime. That's why he was messing with the Federal Reserves. But still, that was an opportunity for our people to take. And we missed that opportunity before Clinton set out to have him murdered by the CIA and other operatives they have around the world, right? And sometimes it's just brainwashing of the people. Like, we'll go back to that word power, and we go back to the first definition. Well, no, the second definition. She exerted her capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of other people. She did that. Hillary Clinton did that. And she was able to change a course of events. I think it's very important that we look at that, because this is something that we need to start being, is the influencers. We have to take we have to seize opportunities when we can. We got to seize all these opportunities that we have before us, that we see. You said, DLD said, times, plus, minus, divide. Yes. Yes. We must seize opportunities of empowerment, of power, when we can, like now. But for some reason, because like I said, everybody ain't gonna get it. Is what I'm saying. Everybody's not gonna see the UFO, the unidentified flying object, before us, which is nothing but revealing of the situation that we're in. It's the writing that's on the wall. It's the NATO that's in every country. It's the NATO forces. It's having these European forces all in Africa, and knowing that Africa is the richest continent on the planet. It's the fact that we don't know that once we connect, we become a power, because then we have the ability to do something or act in a particular way. Self-preservation, self-love, self-care, self-identified, putting self first, becoming a strong force, putting self first, loving self-preserving. Don't let yourself go to waste on someone else. Preserve yourself. Preserve ourselves. Stop fighting in their wars. They hate you. Their mama hates you. And the whole family hates you. Stop fighting in their wars. Stop fighting. Stop being in their military. That right there is power. When you can make that step and come out of their military. Yeah, self-hate is strong. Some people self-hate don't even know they self-hate. Some people have self-hate, don't even know they have self-hate. And that is deep. That is deep. Not even conscious to their own ways. And that is deep. But power, I don't care. If you think you're powerless, then you will be. If you think you're powerful, so it is. You decide. Nobody else can decide. You decide. Are you powerless or are you powerful? Are you allowing others to influence and direct you into a behavior that's not in the way you want? It's not in a particular way that is needed for your situation, but it's in a particular way that benefits them. You might want to check it. You might want to self-reflect and look over the situation. Because right now, there are little countries that are trying to kick out these forces. And at the same time, there's a whole hoax of things going on. Nigerian soldiers, Nigerian youth in Ukraine are going to the embassy and wanting to fight for Ukraine. At the same time, you got Africans that are made at home talking about, I'm never going back because I had to ride all the way clear across the country once I was denied. Once, once I was denied, hold on. Once I was denied access to the closest border, I had to go all the way across the country to Romania. And I finally got home. I'm not going back. But my question is, what are you doing in a country with the Nazi flag? Because they don't understand the history. They've never been taught that Hitler took an African ideas, pure ideas, and he made it Nazism. And that he made it against Black Nubian people in particular. But Jews who got their religion from Black African people seized the opportunity. What did they do? They took the opportunity for power. They knew he was a maniac. But the 1%, the Rothschilds, seized the opportunity. And he was rogue. He went rogue on Europe and he was doing his own thing. Hitler did his own thing because I think he went mad. So he had mental illness issues, evidently. So because he was the puppet put in place by Europe, and he went rogue. So he went rogue, and I think they pushed him to go rogue. I think they pushed him. Europe, America, Rothschilds, Rothschilds over the whole wickedness of our era. And not only them, but the other 1% with them. So the Jews, the Rothschilds, they seized the opportunity to put in European people and call them and have them say they're Jews and they need to go back to the land that England wanted. So they went back to Israel. Now, Israel is a European country, right? So they went back. So what they did was they were able to push out the Black people, push out the uh, Palestinians, and input them Europeans right there on that land. It's a Kemetic land, ancient Kemetic. Has nothing to do with Israeli, Isis, Ra, and El. That's something that's within the Nubian people on the planet. So it has nothing to do with Israel. They just made it, spiritual comes out and manifests into physical. So yes, there's going to be it was a spiritual, but they made it physical. And everything I tell you, they make physical, they make demented. It's demented. It's going to be demented, totally opposite of the spiritual. So they took the ability to do something or act in a particular way, and they did that. And they got Israel. They got that power. But this is the same thing I'm saying. not the same example. We don't have to do the same things, but the opportunity is going to arise. An opportunity is going to arise for us out of all this mess. Are you going to, my question is, are you going to see that opportunity and act upon it and use your power, the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality? Are you going to have the capacity or ability to direct or to influence the behavior of others or the course of an event? Are we going to help people save themselves? Are we going to save ourselves? Are we going to be this word powerful? Power. Are we going to have power? You see? Or are we going to think ourselves powerless? Or are we going to recognize what power is and start fighting against the powers that are trying to empower themselves with our power, are trying to wipe out our power and overtake us? We have individual responsibilities and abilities to stop this and say, I'm the power. So I said a mouthful today. I hope, was it clear? Was it understandable, DOD? Because it was a lot. And it's a lot on my mind. And I have to put it in a way to get it out. And it has to be, usually I try to make my thoughts organized because this is deep and this is serious. If we can't if we can't see the writing on the wall, then we're in trouble, right? That's usually what that means. Thank you, DOD. It means that if you can't see what's in front of you and know exactly what you have to do, then that spells trouble. So thank you for being here. Thank you, whoever's in the cloud as well. Thank you, DOD. And with that all said, always remember true love, real peace. Put self first. Remember the higher self within the soul. And, love thyself. Knowledge, self knowledge is your power too. So, with that said, have a beautiful day, family. Peace.